I had been in several romantic relationships, but I found out that I still didn't understand the complicities of love. My first relationship taught me the importance of not relying on someone else for my own happiness. My second relationship taught me the importance of shared values and goals, the importance to change bad habits, and more importantly, to be open and honest even though honesty sometimes hurts. And in my final relationship, I learned that true love is about trust, authenticity, respect, and boundaries. I believe that it's important to remember that relationships, whether romantic or otherwise, are a two-way street. Both parties should be able to bring their own happiness and fulfillment to the table, rather than relying on another person to provide it for them. In order to be truly happy, I believe that it's important to take responsibility for our own emotional well-being and actively work on developing a sense of self-worth and self-love. But today, I want to dive in and explore the ways in which agape and self-love can shape our lives and romantic relationships for the better. Philia, affectionate love. The way we show this love is by exchanging our beliefs and imperfections with close friends. Pragma is a mature love that develops over time. Storge love, familiar love. The way that we show this love is by gratitude towards the people close to us. Eros, romantic love. We show this love through kissing or hugging. Ludus is the playful love, the flirting love. Mania is an obsessive love. Obsessiveness or madness over a love partner. Philautia, self-love. The way we show this love is by respecting, accepting, and appreciating ourselves. Agape love is a selfless love. The way we can show this love is by expressing unconditional love in any situation. Love yourself first and everything else falls in line. I remember reading this quote and understanding that this is the foundation of all our other relationships. I know it might sound a little bit cliche, but this is where we have to start. And after working many years with a lot of different clients, with everything that is related with health coaching, I realized how many people actually lack some self-love. And this is where I feel that a lot of our addictions and bad habits coming from. When we learn to understand ourselves and to respect ourselves and to accept who we are, we tend to just also be a little bit more aware of the choices that we make. And another thing that I want you to remember is how important self-love is when it comes to that tool to overcome a lot of negativity. So since I started to put myself in the internet, I will sometimes get a lot of negative comments. Maybe that my tattoos looks horrible, maybe that, I tend to show something that I'm not. And I also been attacked by people that I used to love. And this is when obviously self-love is when it becomes like extremely helpful just to give you a little bit of that power and a little bit of that strength to just really kind of keep going without letting another negative things like pull you down. That is the foundation for everything. And this is one of the most beautiful forms of love, the one that you give to yourself. Practicing self-love involves taking care of our physical and mental well-being, setting boundaries, having self-compassion, being kind, accepting who we are, and being able to navigate difficult emotions with empathy and understanding. It also involves having a positive self-image and self-esteem and the ability to make decisions that prioritize one's overall well-being and happiness. Have you ever been in a situation where you experience a lot of negative emotions, anger or rejection against someone who doesn't share the same belief system as you do? This type of love helps break down the barriers and foster unity and harmony in diverse communities by promoting peace, empathy, and respect towards others independent of their belief system. I used to be this kind of person that I would choose hate over love. And this is a result of just being born and raised in Colombia, in the middle of a conflict, where you're actually being told that you have to take revenge if someone does something bad to you. And when there is just like this kind of line between enemies and people hating each other. But when I moved to Europe, I realized that there were probably a lot of things that were in place and people were slightly more, I don't know how to say, maybe a little bit more harmonious, and they didn't have a lot of this hate and resentment. But unfortunately, in the last few years, with all the kind of like war between Ukraine and Russia, or maybe just seeing the way that some refugees get treated, it's like people sometimes forget that we are all humans, and then we need to step a little bit away from this kind of mentality of being enemies, and then really realize that we need to stop being divided. And this is one of the things that it took me a long time to understand, because if I had people that would not really agree with the way I was seeing things, or with my political views, with my religious views, if I was, someone extremely conservative back in the day, and then I was seeing Europe like behaving in such a way, I will hate this thing, and I will put everyone as they are my enemies. One of the biggest lessons that I got from this type of love is that it requires a change in mindset. And this mindset shift, it was the one that helped me to let go of negative emotions and judgment, and instead cultivate positive emotions and attitudes.